Hi, I'm Joe Fair with Geek Toolkit, and today I want to talk about this sign that started out as an on-air sign. It's very simple to build, no electronics are needed, and it's great for if during this COVID time you're doing a lot of stuff on camera. It kind of lets the people outside the room know that there's a camera rolling. That's what I initially designed it for, and I really over-engineered it at first. I was thinking about writing an app that would detect the camera and stuff. And really what I realized is what I want is an indicator for the person outside the room to let me know, or to let them know that I'm busy. And so it kind of morphed from an on-air sign to a I'm busy, do not disturb sign. And that works out great because I might be on the computer coding and need some time. Or maybe I actually am not on the computer at all. Maybe I'm reading and I just want a half hour to focus on what I'm doing. And so it evolved. And what happened is, as it evolved, I realized that it's for the home. And each person should have their own, what they want it to be. It doesn't have to say on air. It can say whatever they want. And that evolved into logos. My wife is a huge Disney fan. And so for hers, we did Mickey Mouse. It's a very simple sign to build. But it's very simply a box with a light in it. The lights are LEDs, and they're what's called 50/50 LEDs. The 5050 is reference to the width and height of the LED. So it's 5 millimeters by 5 millimeters. The reason that's important is when you go LED shopping on a site like Amazon, you'll see a lot of different numbers about LEDs, or you'll see things like NeoPixel or WS2812s. Those are different. Those can be what's called individually addressable, and they're going to cost more. These LEDs are about $20 for 16 feet if you get them on Amazon. If you get them on AliExpress, they're considerably cheaper. Just take longer to get to you. This whole project cost me somewhere between $20 and $30 each sign. But because of the way things are sold, like this being 16 feet of LED, I kind of had to spend $60 to be able to build the project as is. Same with the shadow boxes. The shadow boxes were 2 for $22, I think it was. I'll get all the links in the description as usual. But I like people to know like how much these projects cost realistically. Now that price, the LEDs come with the LEDs and then a control box like this, and then they come with a power cord that plugs in here. But that's only so long of a power cord. And I want to mount this above a door. That's why I went with the smaller size here. I wanted to mount it above my door and then have the wire run down to power on the other side, and also have the infrared receiver inside the room. And so part of the cost was about $10 in extension cables. Now again, that's Amazon's cost. AliExpress, if you go and are willing to wait, you'll probably get them quite a bit less expensive. The only other cost is construction paper and then parchment paper. Parchment paper is a cooking paper like this. It's very inexpensive. You don't need that much. You probably just borrow some from the kitchen, but it's for light diffusion. Light diffusion is really what gives a good effect on this. If the parchment paper is lifted off of here, then you can see that the LEDs would just shine right through. Just doesn't give as good of an effect. Now, one thing I want to talk about as a pro tip is the on-air, the O in the middle of the O and the A and the R, these dots here, they're kind of floating in air. And the way that's done is, this is what's called transfer tape. But you can just use Scotch tape or whatever, some kind of clear tape. Basically, just keep that in mind for whatever pattern you decide to cut out. Cutting out the patterns can be done with a razor blade or straight edge or whatever. To cut them out, I used a Cricut. If you have a Cricut or a Silhouette or some kind of vinyl cutter, it makes this very, very easy to do some complex patterns and have a really cool sign. The only other thing I can think of to tell you is that there's a little notch here. That notch is to simply hold the wire so that the wire can run through the back here. Make sure you align your front with the top here that you're going to use to hang it up. And then this thin extension wire should be fairly easy to hide along the edge of the door frame and actually go into the door. I think my basic excitement is I want to build my sign next, and then I get to pick my logo. I'm not quite sure yet which one I'm going to go with, but if you decide to build one of these, let me know what you decide to put for the logo in there. Again, very simple project, no electronics, no soldering, no chips this time. Though I started out with all of that. I was going to build a WLED 8212 full-on web-controlled system, and then I realized that there's something beautiful about the simplicity of a remote and the reliability of infrared. So I kept it simple. Great engineering principle, really. I really appreciate all the subscribers, all of you that have commented. I read all the comments. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I try to answer every one of them. The community's been really good because I'm starting to see people answering questions for me and helping each other out. And that was my dream with this channel, is getting a bunch of people together that can build cool projects, help each other out, learn a bit about technology. Thanks for watching. I'm Joe Farrow with Geek Toolkit. Until next time.